One of the biggest challenges when it comes to product design and product management is defining whether an idea worth implementing. And if yes, then how to define priorities for a bunch of great ideas that you've got. So, as a product designer, very often I talk to users. I conduct a lot of research in order to understand users' needs. And it really helps me to generate only these ideas that are really desirable for users. But the challenge here is that I need to balance somehow the development side with the design side. And today I'm going to share with you a very simple framework that helps to define whether it's strategically important to work on the task, how to define whether it's important and easy to implement, or is it worth to work on a feature. So basically, all these challenges are easy to solve using the impact effort matrix. Basically, it's 2x2 framework with two axes. The vertical line represents the impact for users, and the main question here is how desirable for users the feature is. And the horizontal line represents the effort, which answers the question how easy it is to implement the feature for developers from technical perspective. So depending on these two axes, a task will sit in one of these four quadrants. The quadrant number one is high ROI. This is really like good quadrant because these concepts are ideal. The answer is very simple because these tasks have high impact and they're relatively easy to implement. The strategic quadrant is more controversial because despite the high impact for users, that might be really challenging to implement. That means that from development perspective, it takes more time to implement something. So it's always a question if it's worth to work on something like that. And the quick wins quadrant is one of the most tempting one because tasks that sit in this quadrant may offer positive short-term results, but also may prevent companies from considering more difficult options with greater potential impact. And the last quadrant is the low ROI quadrant. The tasks here have low impact and high difficulty, and they're definitely not worth pursuing because no businesses want to spend too much time on something that doesn't have any value for users. So just a few words. That's exactly the reason why it's important to conduct user research, because it helps to distinguish whether the tasks should sit in the strategic quadrant or low ROI, because we can assess the impact for users before implementing something. There are a lot of methods to do that. So to help you, I have prepared the FigJam template. I will attach the link below. This will help you to ultimately use the template easier and faster. There are already created sections that you need. The ideas section, when you just need to put all your ideas. I will show you in a few examples how to use that. The second step with the actual metrics that I just described, and the small FAQ section that would help you to refresh your mind of how to use this. So to start using the template, you just need simply to list all your ideas without having any specific order, just your ideas. Usually it comes from insights from user research. For example, we determined that people get lost in the onboarding flow and it's easier to add a progress bar. Or for example, people are not using recommendations, so they can be more personalized. So let's practice on a few examples here. Let's say the user research revealed that people get lost during the onboarding flow and leave the flow just because they think it might take too long. So as an idea, we decided to add a progress bar, and we can assess the desirability and feasibility during the workshop with cross-functional teams. So what theoretically we could determine here. So in general, the progress bar can quickly improve the user's satisfaction. As UX experts, we can provide this kind of feedback. And also the completion rates might be also increased, and developers might provide their estimates. So we can say that this task has minimal development estimate, and we can definitely put this into the high ROI quadrant. Moving to the next idea, redesign the onboarding progress with personalized recommendations. In general, the personalized experience can significantly increase user retention, but at the same time, that requires substantial design and engineering efforts, so we should definitely move this to the strategic section. And a few words about the strategic section. Usually it's worth working on tasks from this quadrant when strategic tasks are somehow related to the value proposition of the project. Then it's really worth implementing and working hard and working for too long on something. Otherwise, it's not worth it. And the next example, update placeholder text and forms. So while easy to do, updating placeholder text won't drastically improve the overall user experience. So it's definitely low effort, but at the same time, low impact as well. So we should move it to the quick wins. In general, these tasks are not the most desirable due to low impact, but at the same time, they're great for fixing some bugs, for example. And the last example, implement machine learning to autofill user profiles. Well, in general, advanced technology improves convenience for users, but at the same time, it also takes significant resources and may not immediately impact all the users. So we must move it to the low ROI section. But at the same time, there is a higher level of ambiguity because this also could easily go to the strategic section if we confirm with decision makers that this feature might positively impact the strategic goals. So to summarize, the tasks and ideas in the high ROI section, they're ideal because they have high impact on users and market and metrics, and they're relatively easy to implement. The strategic ones should be reviewed usually if these tasks will help to stand out or position in the market. Quick wins are usually small improvements, and there will not be any significant improvements in metrics, but these are usually small improvements. And low ROI tasks, they usually are not worth pursuing. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll leave the link to this template below in the description.